Okay. How does it go again?
Oh, hey there, family. It's your boy, Chris, and welcome to Operation Phil. Oh. I am your host. I'm just kidding.
We're going to keep this, by the way. I love it, man. I love it. I notice people say that nowadays, too. That's the catchphrase recently, where someone responds like, oh, I love it, I love it.
Oh, that's the catchphrase? No, I'm trying to stay off social media, man.
That's a good thing. Probably that's, even though you're going to be on it now.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
That's why I'm actually excited to have this handsome
thank you,
brother, Mr. Chris King Rabanera. I know, man. I should have gone another level, but I can't be
level calvo.
Calvo, the reflection, the when you need a solar panel. I'm just kidding. Just to give a little, give this guy some flowers. I've known Chris. It's actually awesome because we reconnected. It's been like pretty much over a decade, right?
Yeah, more than a decade.
Yeah, it's been quite long, but thankfully there's a brother. Speaking of social media, we've kept in touch. So, trying to keep the long story short, even though I'm never good at keeping a long story short. I met Chris when I was working at a university back in San Diego, and he was part of the I think it's still called Couple and Family Therapy program. Maybe. Yeah, it's one of those. Definitely. In the mental health industry, he studied there, and we became good friends. Besides knowing that we were both in Filipino, I would say kapatid, meaning like brothers or sisters in Tagalog. But I found out he was a fellow Filipino, and we're actually from the same province.
Wild. Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier, but yeah. For those that know their geography, I'm still bad with my geography. We're both from the province of Pangasinan, so and you're actually gonna go there in a month, right? Or...
Yeah. I'm going there in December. Yeah, I'm going there for 2 weeks. Back home to the motherland.
Back home. I'm gaining some, Filipino, some pagkain, some food.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, man. I actually want to go back. It's been too long there too, since I've been there. So we kept in touch, and Chris, you actually dove into the industry after you graduated. I guess these past 14 years. How's the journey been? Just graduating. What's the right term? Couple and family therapy, psychology?
Marriage and family therapy.
Marriage, yeah. We'll keep that. It was called MST back then. Then I think they did the change after we left. So. Yeah.
It's been quite the journey. I mean, let's see. 14 years. Man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So I graduated in 2010, and then I completed all my hours to get licensed in the state of California in, I believe, 2014 or 2015. And then I got a job where I was able to travel. I provided behavioral health services to the government, and that was amazing. I traveled to many, many different places.
Yeah, gave a lot of opportunities to just be exposed, right?
Yeah. Have you ever been to Japan?
No, definitely on the bucket list.
Dude, you have to go to Japan. It's like one of my favorite places to go, and we love food. We love eating. It is just so ridiculously amazing. Of how Japan has such delicious food everywhere, man.
Even compared to here, even if you get good Japanese food here, it's a whole new experience. Right?
It just doesn't compare. I remember there is sushi go rounds.
Oh yes, yeah.
When I was in Japan, when I was there, it was 100 yenis, which is $1 a plate. Wow. And this sushi is just so delicious and so next level.
Dang.
Compared to I don't know, some place you're gonna go for all you can eat, and it's just
that's true.
Why is the difference so big? But anyway, so yeah.
It's good you bring that up, because usually when I think of a sushi go round, it's if I just want something quick. But if the food, if the sushi go round is just as good as going to a sit down and for $1.
Yeah, it was so tasty. But yeah, so I'd recommend going to Japan. It's just so good.
Okay. Of all of the many places you've been to, totally that spot for sure.
Yeah, I would say go there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back one day. Don't know when, but I'm gonna go.
Okay. If you can hit me up after this, no, just we'll try to find something out next year. Or... No, yeah, for sure. And I know our generation, we kind of grew up with Japanese culture. Besides, sushi. I know anime was a big thing. Oh, video games. I mean, a lot of stuff comes from there. So, arigato. Thank you. I don't know if that sounds good saying that.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We'll keep at that. Well, that's awesome. So, you having the opportunity, and it's good to hear because usually, when, you hear the telltale, like after you graduate and studied or even, took your master's for a certain degree, you never go like to what you basically studied for, like try to go for. So that's amazing that you were able to jump into, to that job.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I would recommend everyone just try something and see if they like it. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't like this, because you're going to learn skills along the way.
That's true, yeah.
I don't think it's ever... I mean, some people think, oh, yeah, this is a waste. I've been here for so long. I mean, that's like, okay, you've been there, and you can always change and adapt. You can always learn something from there and recognize, hey, this just isn't a good fit for me.
That's true, yeah. There's always something you'll learn, even though if it's not the experience that you ultimately felt like it wasn't a fit, so... Yeah.
So, well, tracking back, let's see. So I got that job in 2014, 15, and then I was there for a couple years. And then I created an integrated behavioral health program. So that basically means that if you had mental health issues, you went to your primary care provider and you said, hey, I'm not feeling well. I think I'm feeling depressed. The doctor would be like, hey, I have somebody in the office that you could work with. And yeah, you get your mental health needs met in your doctor's office.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then so after that, in 2021, 22, I created my own private practice for mental health. I basically help professionals improve their mental health and wellness. I help them build their baseline emotional intelligence. So
I see. That's why it's called basic EQ, right?
Yeah. That's the storyline of how that came up. Because
that's the name. Oh wow.
Yeah. Nobody's ever known about that, but here it is. Now on your podcast. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Right there.
Exclusive. In Balitang America. Oh yeah, I shouldn't name drop some Filipino news channels, but no, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think that's amazing. I love the service that you bring, especially for I think we talked a lot earlier. You call them first generation, right? As far as like being the first to have that profession or having the entrepreneurial title.
Yes. So I would say my clientele are individuals who are the first of their family to, let's say, like graduate college or start a business or become a lawyer. I mean, we're Filipino, so it's, lawyer, doctor, accountant, or CPA, nurse. Yeah. So first generation or first person that's done that in their family. And since they are the first person that's done that in the family, a lot of times what they've done to get there is push all of this. I like to use this motion, all of these emotions and feelings, kind of push that down to the bottom and to the side.
Unfortunately, yeah. And that's usually, I guess, firsthand knowing the Filipino culture, that's usually the course of action. Like if you feel like there's a hardship or some kind of mental state blocking you, try to, dig it in or dig in the grave.
Yeah. It's, is it killing you? Are you dying? Is anything broken?
No.
Your feelings hurt? Forget your feelings. They don't matter. Keep going.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though it should be treated like naturally or like taken care of.
Yeah, the way that I kind of think of mental health is that it's part of health.
Yes.
Overall. So when people think of health, they only think about their physical health. what they're really missing is that there's their emotional health or the mental health aspect of it too. And it's those things together that actually create your health as a whole.
No, for sure. There's definitely a lot of aspects. I know one thing is spiritual health as well. And I like what you said earlier too, just touching base on that. We all try to make sure that all these aspects of our health are taken care of. And I know sometimes one way some people try to do is they try to juggle it. But I think you bring something up of how to take care of these aspects. I know you called it seasons, right?
Oh, yeah. So, like, people talk about work-life balance, right? And I personally do not fully believe in the work-life balance as how many people traditionally talk about it. They talk about work-life balance like on a daily or even weekly schedule. So it's like, okay, I'm going to work hard, and then I'm going to take these 2 days off or a couple days off, and I'm going to try to recover. So the way that I actually think about it is work-life balance in terms of seasons. So it could be, this is the season of where I am focusing on my career. This current quarter. So I think that, like, again, seasons are quarters. Of this quarter, I'm going to be working on, let's say, like my spiritual health. I'm going to put more energy towards there. Because when we try to spend all of our energy balancing everything, we can spread ourselves too thin.
Yes.
And so spreading yourself too thin means that you're not getting any progress or getting any work done in any areas. And that's not what we're trying to do. So, yeah, I think of work-life balance in terms of seasons and like quarters, or I even start thinking about planning out your year versus a daily, week, or weekly.
I think that's good, yeah, because like you mentioned, you don't want to, for lack of a better word, I'm gonna say it. This is the first time I'm cussing on my podcast. You don't want to.
Oh, exclusive!
Even though I did do an interview, and there's actually a couple of times I have to bleep someone, but he had good thoughts. I was gonna say, you don't want to half-ass anything, because I like how you said instead of trying to do things at the same time, you use like a certain amount of time to focus on one factor, or like, for instance, a part of your life, and then you're like, okay, now during this time of the year, I can actually contribute my time and energy to this now. So you don't feel like you have to, like you said, do it daily or try to juggle it out, try to do things simultaneously, because that itself is a burnout, isn't it? Right?
It can be. It can be. I think just being aware of what you're doing, and this is like one of the things that I actually work on with a lot of my clients when I'm doing therapy. I like to call it active decision making. And to be honest, all active decision making is slowing things down and saying, I recognize I am doing X because da-da-da-da-da. Like you have an actual reason for it. And that you're not traveling through life on autopilot.
Oh, yeah. That happens a lot, especially this day and age.
It's very, very easy to be like, okay, I set this goal. I'm going to do all these tasks and turn everything off and just go on autopilot. It's super, super easy to do that. Every single one of my clients is on autopilot in some facet or area of their life. And it's easy to do. So with active decision making, being able to be like, okay, is this the best use of my time and energy? Why am I actually doing this? Why am I doing that activity right there? Does it align with my values or goals? Or is it because I'm just on autopilot and this is what I've always done?
So it helps create checks and balances, kind of creates routine, make sure like, is this beneficial or not? Yeah,
again, it's like, why am I doing this? Do I actually know why, or am I just going with the flow? Is this because somebody told me to do it, or is it because I want to do it?
For sure.
And again, we're going to make mistakes, period. We're going to make mistakes. It's not It's not a question if we are, it's more a question when we're going to make a mistake. And it's at those points when we make mistakes, it's how we own up to those mistakes.
Yes.
Or if we don't own up to those mistakes, and how we respond to those situations. And it's just about adapting. And it's all right if you recognize, again, as we talked about earlier, just trying out new things, that this doesn't work for me. Okay. It's good. Okay, understood. Great, now I know. Let's go find out what does work for me.
Yes. Definitely accountability is something that I think is it's a good virtue to have. Taking ownership and then, yeah, like you said, just, yeah, if you feel in something, you know, there's other opportunities that will open up and try to take on those next steps. So, oh man, good stuff. Oh, by the way, for those that know, usually I talk with folks that are part of our area locally in San Diego. So for those that see this, usually I have my iPad. We don't script anything, we actually record. And this is what you can see. So we're actually in the hotel room, but yeah, we're here in Las Vegas. So Chris is actually, you've been here, what, for a few years?
Yeah, I've been here since 2022.
Nice, and that's when, prior to moving here, that's when you started your practice, yeah?
Yes. So I'm actually licensed in multiple states at this time.
Wow.
See, I'm licensed in Michigan, Nevada, California, Utah, and Nebraska. So I'm individually licensed in each of those states at the moment. So I can provide services to all of those areas.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, and I think that's what's, you know, especially this day and age, we have the virtual space where we can meet and do services. So that's awesome, you know, that you're using the platform. How's it been these past few years?
So I love therapy. I love providing therapy. I love helping people on their journey to improve their quality of life.
That's awesome, man.
I think one of my favorite things ever is seeing somebody's mind click and knowing that something just happened. Something magical, something just changed inside of them. And I was able to bear witness to that and or help them in some way, shape, or form. But seeing that moment, it is like the best feeling ever.
That's awesome. That's always good to hear that when you have a sense of pride, not necessarily, I guess what I'm trying to get at is you see the success when you make an impact on the people that you get to help instead of, I was actually going to transition to like what we talked about too earlier off camera. You know, I love how you keep things low volume for your business because you want to focus on the energy and the quality of your service with your clientele. I know there's unfortunately some businesses, some practices where it's like, you know, it's a number game, right? It's and it's hard to upkeep that. So I guess if you want to expound on that.
Oh yeah.
Why you decide to keep it low volume method and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Thanks for bringing that up. So there are, I call them tech therapy platforms. They don't necessarily provide therapy. They provide a platform to connect people to therapists. And so what these tech platforms are doing is that they are Ubertizing mental health. And so I wouldn't recommend any of these platforms. I'm not saying that there's bad therapists on there, because there's bad therapists everywhere, just as there's good therapists everywhere, and I'm sure there's good therapists there too. But the way that these tech platforms are, I guess, reimbursing for therapy services devalues therapy, at least in my eyes. So in my own practice, I have a micro practice. I keep it very, very small. And this is for two reasons. The first reason is I specialize in burnout.
Yeah.
So work burnout. And so if I'm specializing in working with people who are burnt out or feeling burnt out, I am not going to put myself in a position to burn out myself.
It's kind of like practice what you preach.
Yes. It would be stupid of me to burn myself out doing therapy while providing those services. It's ridiculous, right? So I limit the number of clientele that I have. And so that kind of goes into the second reason. So one is I don't want to burn myself out. And two is because with a smaller caseload, it allows me to be running closer to 100% at all times for all of my clients. That means I'm able to be present. I'm able to use all of my brain power versus someone that's using 70%. Because I know people that are seeing 25, 30 clients per week. They may be beasts and they may be like mythical unicorns out there in the mental health field. But you're going to tell me day in, day out, you're seeing that many clients? Nah, bro, that's not it. Your therapist seeing that many clients isn't doing you as good of a service as they could if they saw less clients. Like, yeah, people think, oh, Chris, you just sit around and talk to people. Oh, yeah, and you get paid so much. No, man, this is a skill. Doing therapy, listening is a skill.
Yes.
It's just like teaching. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I can teach. No. You can teach. You don't know the theory behind it. You don't have the experience behind it. Everyone thinks they can do it. Everyone thinks that they can listen. Sure, you may be able to hear a couple things, but are you fully listening? Do you have the skill set to break a situation down clinically? You hear a situation, then break it down clinically, and then provide the right intervention or support service for a client. It takes skill. So again, if you think about doing this back to back to back to back to back.
No, it's too much of a challenge, yeah.
Nah. So that's why I like to keep my practice small. And so if you're ever looking for a therapist, one thing I would actually ask your potential therapist is, what does your caseload look like?
That's a good point, yeah. I mean, you see with just any healthcare, like, or just any industry.
Just any industry.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell when there's a full focus on in the service, or if you could tell like they're just, I'm bad at snapping. I don't know. I did this in the last interview, and I can't. That's why I can't be Thanos in the Marvel universe.
You can't.
No one's gonna vanish. But no, real talk. And I'm grateful because that shows that you care about your craft. You care about what you studied for, and also you care about the person on the other end. That they get the 100% that you can give them. So thank you for having that mindset and that that value. So
yeah, man. Yeah.
I also wanted to bring up, so apparently in the beginning I talked about us being Filipino. So I know when you were studying and when I was working for the MFT department, there was always that stigma of the Asian community, especially first generation, right? And I'm glad you brought this up. Usually the way that they try to take care of mental health is, just sweep it under the rug, keep under wraps, don't worry about it. So I commend you because you're Filipino and you're part of this industry. I guess what's the importance, or how do you feel knowing that you are Filipino and help dealing with mental health?
So first I want to give a shout out to my parents because my mom and dad, they said you can do whatever you want as long as you're able to take care of yourself. So I mean, it's a little bit different from my older brothers because again, Filipino parents, you gotta be a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer.
What did Joe Quick say? Nurse.
Yeah, or a nurse. So yeah, my parents were like, hey, you can do whatever you want. So then when I was in high school, I was like, you know what, I'm going to...
Oh yeah, what did spark the mental health scene?
I'm gonna help people. And what's something that I could do? At that time, I remember seeing that marriages were 50%. That was like the stats. 50% of all first marriages end in divorce, or something like that. And then I was like, hey, maybe I could do something there. So then I went to psychology, and then I got my master's degree. But going back to your question of, how is it being a Filipino in, the mental health space? What I'm seeing is more and more Filipino people are getting into the space in terms of being clinicians, as well as getting mental health services.
That's good to know.
I think what I've seen so far is people that are roughly, what I've seen is, so I'm going to be 40 soon. People my age.
I'll wait for you on the other end.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So with people roughly our age, they're starting to recognize that, hey, maybe there is something to this mental health. Maybe I don't need to shove it down the inside or push it off to the side and try to forget about it. Slowly, I'm slowly starting to see people inquire about therapy. I think the generation below us, they're starting to be even more so. People in their 30s, or Filipino Americans are starting to be more open to the idea of, okay, yeah, maybe I'll go talk to somebody about this. Maybe there's something to this. I don't want to feel this bad.
Yes.
And they're open to the help. And then people that are in their 20s and younger, what I'm seeing is that they are even more open to seeing a therapist or talking to somebody about it. So, yeah, I think it's just as new generations come up, I think mental health is going to be another avenue people are willing to put resources behind.
For sure. No, yeah. To dive into professionally and to utilize too. So
yes.
Thank you for being a wheel of that, of that vehicle, like bringing especially our, us as Filipino Americans, to putting a spotlight on it, if you will. So
yeah, it's just so interesting seeing, again, what we talked about earlier about like how our parents, again, the way they deal with their emotions is what we're going to go karaokeing, we're going to go drinking, we're going to go buy the handbag.
Oh yeah,
we're going
to, No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, we're going to, chismis and all of that. I've seen a lot of toxicity there.
Yeah.
But again, one of the things that I also kind of think about is, okay, so I'd like to think that our lives are significantly or just more comfortable than their lives here when, let's say, they immigrated to the United States. Significantly. Our worries are different than theirs. But I'm not giving them like an out. I'm just saying that this is the way that they've coped. 100%. That's the way that they've coped with whatever stress or, as I said, this right here, their feelings.
Yeah,
and how they dealt with it.
And unfortunately, you can tell, it affects them even at their age. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, especially at this point in time, and it's good that you brought up like the younger generation has more of an awareness and will take the opportunity. I think that's one thing you've mentioned too off the camera is, our personalities. We like to take opportunities, like if it's there, and then just having a positive like. Jumping into, I think this generation is definitely has that kind of aspect too. Like if the opportunity is there, like take it, like seize the moment, if you will. Yeah. So yeah, that's amazing, man. And getting back to just our personal friendship, yeah, it's good to hear you're thriving, and then you're getting to. As I mentioned, this is Operation Fulfill, just fulfilling what you love to do. Mm-hmm. And I think one thing that you mentioned, besides, the reason why you do things low volume, to give full attention to your clientele and so you yourself won't burn out. I also like to hear, I like what you said too. Congratulations, by the way. I know you're a married man, and
Yeah.
You have some beautiful children, and just knowing that you have also that time, to be with your kids, that must be fulfilling in itself.
Yeah, for sure. I'll talk a little bit about that. So, another reason why I have a small practice is because of the lifestyle that me and my family wanted. So my wife, she works in healthcare, and I have two small children, ages 3.5 and 1.5. And so what we decided was my wife is going to be the breadwinner, and I'm going to play Mr. Mom. So in my family, it's a huge role reversal. And so with that said, we sat down and said, hey, how do we want our schedules to look like? What do we want this to be? And so we decided that I wanted to spend as much time with my family as possible. So we have it set up currently where I am at home with my girls Mondays and Fridays, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm working on my business. And so, yeah, it's just our team, and that's our family. And I don't really care what anybody else thinks about how our families run, because this is our relationship. Yeah. This is what we decided as a team,
yeah,
as a family. And so it works for us.
And I commend you. I think, the term Mr. Mom, I think that's still awesome though, because what more beautiful than, getting to be the parent to and I know your wife too, but then especially, allotting that time and just being present for your daughters, in that case. So
yeah, it's a beautiful thing to be able to be present, watching them grow up.
Just hopefully not too fast. No, I'm just kidding.
Time flies, man. Time flies, just like this.
It's a blink of an eye, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can snap. I still can't. Oh man, wow. Well, I didn't get to ask you this. So you mentioned the states you're licensed in, and where you get to practice your or do your practice. Is it purely on the virtual format, or has there been opportunity since you're here in Vegas, or?
So when I started this business, I decided that I didn't want to meet in person just because of I wanted this business to fit the lifestyle that we have.
Yes.
So I travel regularly. It could be to California or to Michigan because that's where I have family. And so I'm still able to see clients while I'm traveling.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
That's why I maintain my license in those states, even though I no longer live in those states. So let's say I'm traveling to Michigan, I could still see all of my clients because I'm licensed there. So I really, really like in person. This right here, us chopping it up, there is like magic in the air.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I first saw you after 14 years, it was
so magical.
Yeah. Love is in the air, and I'm just kidding. So shout out to. Oh wait! I shouldn't dox names. Sorry.
No, you should shout to your wife, man.
I had her.
Shout to your wife. Not my wife. Come on, man.
Shout out to Jennifer.
So
who's trying not to hear me stumble.
So, yeah, I love in-person work. It is great. Nothing can replace the energy that you have when you're in another person's presence. Now, the trade-off to that is the convenience. Mm-hmm. I work with a lot of professionals. So I work with doctors, lawyers, physicians, business owners, CEOs, things like that. And so having to drive 20 minutes or 30 minutes to come see me versus, all right, I'm going to go step into my office real quick.
Yes. Yeah, because that's their lifestyle, yeah.
Yeah.
In itself, too, so. I guess there's an advantage because, and thankfully, we live in an age where technology, can, like you said, it's never going to replace in-person interaction, but at least as far as the convenience and just the time execution. It helps in that sense. And even though there is a computer screen, or even if they use a cell phone, that will be between you and your client, you can tell in any situation when someone's giving their 100%. So
Yes.
of course it's definitely more of a challenge. So it is more of a challenge like digitally, but you can still tell. So I commend you for knowing that there is a more challenging level of doing what you do, especially in a digital matter. So
Well, I would say that with that being said, there are times where it's not a good fit. Because again, as you said, the energy is just not there in terms of working with a client virtually. Or it just may be a poor fit with the client and the clinician overall. Because again, some people prefer in person. And what I could say is that there are services, or there are people that provide services in person. It's just I'm not one of them at this time.
no, but
So.
still, wow. I mean, thank you for those that it fits their lifestyle. I
Yes.
think you keep it optimum. So
I try.
yeah, it's
So I mean, if I can help, great.
for sure. And then thank you for especially the clientele you mentioned. Even though in our eyes, they're these are folks who are very successful, probably are at the prime of what they do. Even like figures like them, they still need like help with their mental health. Probably more so with the stress levels that they get to deal with. Especially you mentioning burnout and all that. So
The way that I kind of think about it is, okay, look, you have a doctor on your team. A lot of people have physical trainers or personal trainers on their team. Why don't you have somebody working on your mental health on your team? Like, people go to church and they have their priest, they have their person there, right?
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
How come, where's the mental health piece in that in terms of their overall health? I mean, people have mentors for work. People have just life mentors, but nobody is, or not everybody, I would say more people should have somebody on their team for their mental health.
Yeah, no, it's good because, I think like what you mentioned earlier, it's like clockwork. You get to help put the pieces together and then you get the cogs like moving again. So thank you for that. I'm floored. And mind me, my voice is a little low. We actually had a good lunch earlier.
Yeah.
Speaking of good food, Chris mentioned, he loves the food in Japan is amazing, and he just took we went out to lunch earlier and we had some amazing food. So
Yeah, man, if you come to Las Vegas, hit me up. Want to eat everything.
oh, I wish I take Ozempic now, but no, just kidding. I'll edit that out. I don't want to promote Ozempic. I really don't like Ozempic. Like it does suppress a lot. I mean, thankfully I'm back to where I could eat still, but there was a point in time, man. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If you're diabetic and you do need it, yeah, please, if it's supposed to help you for sure. But I think if you take Ozempic just for the sake of I want to lose weight for vain reasons, no, it's not worth it.
I kind of think of it as a tool. That's the way that I think about it. I don't know what the full health outcomes are. I haven't read any of the research of it, but I see it as a tool, right? It's a medication, and I'm kind of like, all right, how does this medication help you? Or is it under prescribed? Right? Are you like under doctor supervision? All right, cool. You go do you.
Yeah. If it's supposed to be recommended by a doctor for sure. Yeah. So. Well, sir,
Man, that was a tangent.
I was just thinking I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling the hit right now of the food. Like, I mean, I was full earlier, but I'm like, when you feel the, after you had a good meal, like, I guess that's one thing with Ozempic, you'll start feeling it like a few hours later than usual. So,
Did not know that.
I think so. Maybe I'm just a rare case, but Man, no, thank you again, and thank you for reconnecting. Like, yeah, like he mentioned, it's been 14 years since we really hung out like this. Like, you know, thankfully with social media, we've kept in touch. And it was actually, yeah, I think you saw that I was here in Vegas one time and you reached out. So thank you for keeping me on the loop that, oh yeah, I'm here in Vegas now. And yeah, for anyone that sees this and, you know, besides, this is a platform and a spotlight for Chris and his services. Hopefully get to know him also as Mr. Chris Rabanera. He's a good dude, and I'm glad that we got to reconnect and that he got to you know, share what he does as a fulfillment in his life today. And any closing thoughts? Any shameless plugs?
Shameless plugs.
I'm trying to be more. I forgot to say that in my piece, and my friend was like, "Hey, can I say a shameless plug quick?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, go for it." You know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything you want to add?
Let's see.
Any messages?
I'd say use active decision making. Go listen to that part again. Active decision making, super important. Let's see. Shameless plug. You can hit me up at my website, thebaseeq.com. That's BASEEQ.com. Check me out on Instagram or the Facebook. Not on the TikTok though. Not yet.
Yeah, please no. I still don't get the concept of TikTok. I know it's like short form video, but
I know it's supposed to have the highest revenue generation.
oh man, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. You're probably gonna see us do the wipe it. Have you seen that video meme?
No, I have not.
Like it, I don't know exactly. I guess so. I don't know what I'm talking about too. I don't think anyone knows what they're doing with TikTok. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the base EQ, and you heard it first over here. The origins of.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Let's call it so.
Origin story.
Yes, yes, the deep cuts. Yeah, thank you for just talking about what you do, and yeah, keep on doing what you're doing, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Yeah, I'm feeling the itis right now.
Oh, you got the itis? Oh man.
Yeah, is that what they call it?
Yeah.